Good morning students in English class, and today we are going to discuss the remaining part of the chapter the enemy through your video class. Do you know today Bharat Bandh is there, that's why we are not conducting online classes, and because of that reason I am sending you video. This will be the last video of this chapter. It means first and last video. Earlier your live classes were conducted, and that's why because of some reason, indispensable reason, I am sending you the video of this chapter. And from tomorrow we will start the next chapter. One chapter is still remaining and we will start that chapter. Okay. Now come to page number 44. So thou did not see him again until evening. So thou is talking about enemy soldier whose name was Tom. He did not see him until evening. As soon as it was dark, he had dragged. Drag means pulled. P-U-L-L-E-D. P-U-L-L-E-D. He had pulled the stout boat. What is the meaning of stout? Stout means strongly built. Down to the shore, and in it he put food and bottled water that he had bought secretly, slyly during the day, as well as 2 quilts he had bought at a pawn shop. What is the meaning of quilts? Like blankets. Quilts is blankets. And what is the meaning of pawn shop? A shop where things are mortgaged, where things are pawned, जहाँ चीजों को गिरवी रखा जाता है. The boat he tied to a post in the water, for the tide was high. Do you know? So thou instructed the man. What was the instruction which was given to the white man by Sadao? Sadao provided him boat, food, some clothes as well as some money, and instructed him to go to a nearby island, and from there he will be able to catch the Korean boats, and they will take to him US. In this way, not only the white man but also the Sadao will also be safe, because General had known everything about that. Who told General? Yumi, I think the maid servants, or it is also possible the gardener. Do you know tide waves? There was no moon and he worked without a flashlight. In the absence of moonlight, he had to work with flashlight. When he came to the house, he entered as though he were just back from the work. When he entered the house, it was looking he had come from the work, and so Hana knew nothing. Hana did not know anything. Yumi was here today, she said as she served his supper. What is supper? The last meal of the day. जब हाना ने सदा को खाना दिया तो उन्होंने कहा कि यूमी दिन में यही थी. She was here today, आज यही थी. Though she was so modern, still she did not eat with him. Do you know? Hana was so modern, but she never ate with her husband because of some respect or because of some traditions, culture which was followed in Japan. Yumi cried over the baby. She went on with a sigh. What is sigh? Deep breath of sorrow or pain. She misses him so. The servants will come back as soon as the foreigner is gone, Sadao said. Sadao said, the servants will also be here when the white enemy, it means Tom, will not be here. He went into the guest room that night before he went to the bed himself and checked carefully the Americans' temperature. The state of wound. He checked the temperature of Americans. State of wound. State means condition. The condition of the wound or injury. And his heart and pulse. The pulse was irregular, but that was perhaps because of excitement. The pulse was irregular, slow and high, but not because of fear, because of excitement. The white man knew that he had been recovered and he was saved by his enemy. The young man's pale means yellowish lips, were pressed together and his eyes burned. Only the scars means wounds, ghav, on his neck were red. I realize you are saving my life again, he told Sadao. I think you are saving my life. Not at all. Sadao said, no, bilkul nahi. It is only inconvenient. What is inconvenient? Troublesome. It is only troublesome to have you here in any longer. तुम्हें मेरे घर में रखना मेरे लिए troublesome है. He had hesitated a good deal about giving the man a flashlight, but first of all, when Sadao was giving a flashlight, he hesitated. But he had decided to give it after all. It was a small one, his own, and the light belonged to Dr. Sadao, which he used at night when he was cold. if your food runs out before catch about, runs out means finishes. What is runs out? Runs out, finishes. If your food finishes, खत्म हो जाता है, before you catch a boat, he said, signal me 2 flashes at the same instant. What is instant? Same moment. The sun drops over the horizon. Sadao said, if your food on the way, if your food finishes very fast before you catch a boat, please give me 2 signals, 2 flashes signals. 2 लाइट के मुझे सिग्नल देना, उसी मोमेंट पर देना। वो सन, जब सन कहाँ जा रहा हो? ओवर द हॉरिजन, व्हेन द सन इज सेटिंग. द सन ऑलवेज गोज टू हॉरिजन एट द टाइम व्हेन सन सेट्स. Do not signal in darkness, please. Sadao told him, do not give me signal in darkness, for it will be seen. It can be seen. If you are all right but still there, signal me once. Okay, if you are okay, you do not have any problem, signal me only once. If your food has been finished, then signal me twice with your flashlight. You will find fresh fish easy to catch. You will find there fresh fishes to catch, but you must eat them raw. पर आपको उन्हें raw यानी कच्चा ही खाना पड़ेगा. There will be no one to cook them. A fire would be seen, क्योंकि आग दूर से देख ली, आग लोगों को अपनी ओर नोटिस कर सकती है, अपनी ओर ड्रॉ कर सकती है, विड्रॉ कर सकती है. तो यू हैव टू ईट द फिश रो, आपको उसे कच्चा खाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आग से लोग अट्रैक्ट हो सकते हैं. ओके, द यंग मैन ब्रेड, ही वॉज रेज्ड डाउन इन द जापानीज क्लॉथ्स व्हिच Sadao had given him. Sadao gave him Japanese clothes, and at the last moment Sadao wrapped means covered a black cloth about his blonde head. Blonde means golden head. Now Sadao said, the young American without a word shook Sadao's hand warmly. दोनों ने हाथ मिलाया, and then walked quite well across to the floor and down the step into the darkness of the garden. He moved towards the darkness of the garden. Once, twice, Sadao saw his light flash to find his way, but that would not be suspected. He waited until from the shore there was one more flash. Then he closed the partition. That night he slept. After leaving him, Sadao slept peacefully. You say the man escaped, and do you know what happened? General also came to know about that the man had been escaped. You said the man escaped. The general said faintly. What is faintly? With weak voice. उसकी आवाज बहुत ही कमजोर थी. Reason, do you know what was the reason? He had been operated upon a week before, because before a week he was operated. An emergency operation to which Sadao had been called in the night, and Sadao was called for their operation in the night for 12 hours, for continuously 12 hours. Sadao had not been sure the general would live or leave. Sadao was not sure that after this operation the general will be alive. The gallbladder, internal organ, the gallbladder was much involved. Here the meaning of involved means affected. Then the old man had begun to breathe deeply again and to demand food. And after some time, Sadao thought the man would not be alive, but the old man started asking for food. Sadao had not been able to ask about the assassins. Sadao did not ask him about the assassins, about the murderers. So far as he knew, they had never come. And Sadao जानता था वो कभी नहीं आएंगे. The servants had also returned. Yumi had cleaned the guest room thoroughly. Yumi ने guest room को पूरा clean कर दिया था. And Yumi had burned sulfur in it. उसमें sulfur जला दिया गया to get the white mess smell out of it, ताकि white smell की जो smell थी कमरे में वो कमरे से बाहर चली जाए. No will have some doubt. Nobody said anything. Only the gardener was cross. Cross means angry. Only the gardener, he was angry because he had got behind with his chrysanthemums. It means chrysanthemums, it is a kind of flower. What is a kind of plant? क्योंकि वो गुलदाउदी कहते हैं हिंदी में, क्योंकि अपना वो पौधा उगा नहीं पाया था. He missed some time. That's why he was getting angry. Cross means angry. But after a week, Sadao felt the general was well enough to be spoken to about the prisoner. And after a week, when the condition of general was well, he talked to Sadao. Yes, Excellency, he escaped. Sadao now said, he coughed, he started coughing like this way, this way coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said. Sadao thought that he had not said, उसने वो कुछ नहीं कहा जो उसे कहना चाहिए था, वो जो कह सकता था. But was unwilling, he was not interested, he was not willing to disturb the general further. He did not want to disturb the general, but the old man opened his eyes suddenly and said, that prisoner, he said with some energy, did I not promise you I would kill him for you? जनरल कह रहा है कि मैंने प्रॉमिस नहीं किया था मैं उसे मरवा दूंगा. फिर वो चला कैसे गया? How did he give a chance to escape? You did, Excellency. Well, well, the old man said in tone of amazement. Amazement means surprise. Old man ने कहा हाँ मैं जानता हूँ. So I did, but you see, I was suffering a good deal. But the general said, you know Sadao, I was suffering because I needed an operation also. That's why I did not get time for the white man. The truth is, I thought of nothing but myself. एंड वो कह रहा है सच तो ये है कि मैंने उसके बारे में या किसी के बारे में नहीं सोचकर अपने बारे में ही सोचा. बिकॉज माई कंडीशन वॉज नॉट गुड. आई फॉरगॉट माई प्रॉमिस टू यू. If I wondered, Your Excellency, Sadao murmured, spoke slowly. It was certainly very careless of me. It was my carelessness. जनरल कह रहा है मेरी लापरवाही थी. But you understand, it was not lack of patriotism. What is patriotism? Having love for the country. Having love for the country. It is known as देशभक्ति. और dereliction. What is dereliction? Negligence. Negligence of my duty. वो जनरल कह रहा है कि ऐसा इसलिए नहीं हुआ कि मुझे अपने देश के प्यार में मुझे अपने देश से प्यार नहीं है या उसमें कोई कमी है या मैं अपनी ड्यूटी के प्रति नेग्लिजेंट हूँ और नेग्लिजेंसी यानी कि नेग्लिजेंस नज़रअंदाज कर रहा हूँ अपनी ड्यूटी को. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ही लुक्ड एंक्शियसली. ही वॉज लुकिंग वरीड at his doctor. If the matter should come out, you would understand that, wouldn't you? General does not want to expose or reveal this matter in front of anyone. He knows that if Sadao is arrested, then his condition will also be severe. Certainly, Your Excellency, Sadao said. He suddenly understood. Comprehended means understood that the general was in the palm of his hand. Sadao समझ गया कि जनरल उसके हाथ में था. It means general was convinced that Sadao did not help the white man in escaping, and that as a consequence, as a result, he himself was perfectly safe. And Sadao knew that I was safe, कि मैं बच गया था. I can swear to your loyalty, Excellency. Loyalty means faithfulness, कि मैं आपकी वफादारी की कसम भी खा सकता हूँ. He said to the old general, and to your zeal. Zeal means excitement against the enemy. You are a good man. The general murmured. The general spoke, कि Sadao, you are definitely a good man, and close his eyes. You will be rewarded for that. But Sadao, searching the spot of black in the twilighted see the night. What is twilighted? Faint light. Faint यानी हल्की जो लाइट होती है. पर Sadao क्या कर रहा था? वो तो दूर से निशान यानी कि वो फ्लैश लाइट्स के बारे में सोच रहा था. सी द नाइट, रात को. हैड इज रिवॉर्ड, जो उसका खुद का क्या था? इनाम था. यानी समझो, Sadao was given only one signal. It was showing that the man was safe, and Sadao was thinking about that. And the white man was recovered. It was only Sadao's reward. उस white man का बच जाना ही Sadao के लिए रिवॉर्ड था और कुछ नहीं. There was no prick of light in the dusk. In the dusk means sunset. Sunset के टाइम लाइट की कोई रोशनी नहीं थी. No one was on the island. आइलैंड पे कोई नहीं था. His prisoner was gone. His prisoner had gone. Safe, doubtless. इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं कि he was safe. For he had warned him to wait only for a Korean fishing boat. Because Sadao warned him to wait for only Korean fishing boat. He stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out. Now Sadao वो कहानी बता रहा है कि जो yesterday happened, जो कल हुई थी, उसने क्या देखा था? याद रखिए, this part belongs to the last part. Sadao ने उसे अपने बोट दिया, फूड दिया, क्लोथ दिया और कुछ मनी दिया. उसके बाद what happened Sadao बता रहा है. He stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out, looking out to the sea, from whence means from where the young man had come that other night. Sadao घर के बरामदे के सामने खड़ा था, बरामदे पर, और उस रास्ते पे खड़ा था, उस जगह खड़ा था, उस जगह को देख रहा था जहाँ से व्हाइट मैन उनके घर में आया था, from seashore. And into his mind, although without reason in his mind, there came other with white faces he had known. Sadao के दिमाग में अलग अलग इमेजेस आने लगी. फर्स्ट इमेज किसकी आई? द प्रोफेसर एट हुज हाउस ही हैड मेट हाना. Sadao सोच रहा है कि किस तरह से मैं प्रोफेसर के घर पे हाना से मिला था इन यूएसए. अ डल मैन. हु वाज प्रोफेसर? अ डल मीन्स नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग. ही वाज नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग मैन. एंड हिज वाइफ हैड बीन अ सिली टॉकेटिव वुमन. एंड हिज वाइफ ऑल्सो हु यूज्ड टू टॉक टू मच, दैट्स व्हाई शी वाज वेरी सिली. इन स्पाइट ऑफ हर विश टू बी काइंड. It means she wanted to be kind, but she was silly because she used to talk too much. He remembered his old teacher of anatomy. Sadao को अपने anatomy के टीचर नजर आ गए. What is anatomy? Study of body is known as anatomy. Who had been so insistent, जो insistent से, persistent से, determined थे on mercy with the knife. It means mercy. It means pity, दया. Knife, यहाँ पर knife का मतलब है operation materials. Operation material. ये लाइन ये शो कर रही है कि सदाओ को किसकी इमेज याद आई, अपने एनाटॉमी के टीचर की याद आई जो मर्सी विद नाइफ, चाकू को लेकर काफी दयावान थे। इसका तो समझ रहे हैं, वेन एवर सदाउ's एनाटॉमी टीचर ऑपरेटेड समवन, ही ऑपरेटेड विद ग्रेट पिटी। इसका मतलब ये दया के साथ लोगों का ऑपरेशन करते थे, नॉट इन एंगर, बिल्कुल एक मर्सीफुल तरीके से, पिटीफुल तरीके से। नेक्स्ट, एंड देन ही रिमेंबर द फेस ऑफ हिज फेट, फिर उसे किसका चेहरा याद आया, फेट एंड स्लेंडरली, व्हाट इज स्लटिश, व्हाट इज स्लेंडरली, स्लटिश, SLUTTISH, बद्दा और बद्दी, लैंडलेडी, उसे अपने मकान मालकिन की याद आई, who was not beautiful, she was like, you know, grotesque, वो बद्दी थी, she was ugly. He had great difficulty to find a place to live in America because he was a Japanese. And Sadao thought, what kind of problems did he face to live in America because he was a Japanese? The Americans were full of prejudice. जो Americans हैं, they are full of prejudice, or we can say bias, BIAS. What is bias? Ill feelings, पक्षपात. And it had been bitter means very harsh to live in it. And it was Sadao had very bad experience while he was living in USA. याद रखना, USA में जब रह रहा था उसके एक्सपीरियंस काफी बुरे थे. Knowing himself then superior, जो Americans they used to consider themselves superior than others. How he had despised का मतलब होता है hated, HATED, नफरत करता था, और criticized द इग्नोरेंट एंड डर्टी ओल्ड वुमन। किस तरह सदाओ उस इग्नोरेंट, उस भोली भाली, नॉट भोली भाली, हम कह सकते हैं कि जो अपने काम के प्रति ब्यूटीफुल नहीं हो, वैथफुल नहीं हो, इग्नोरेंट एंड डर्टी ओल्ड वुमन हु हैड एट लास्ट कंसेंटेड, व्हाट इज कंसेंटेड, परमिटेड, गेव परमिशन टू हाउस हिम इन हर मिजरेबल होम। तो किस तरह सदाओ याद कर रहा है, किस तरह से एक लेडी ने, कौन सी लेडी ने, जो हु वाज इग्नोरेंट, जो अज्ञानी थी, बिल्कुल मासूम थी, उसने अपने घर में मुझे, उस गंदे से हाउस में मुझे रुकने की कंसेंट परमिशन दी थी। कहाँ पर, यूएसए। व्हेन सदाओ वाज इन यूएसए ही हैड टू टेक शेल्टर। हियर वी कैन सी टू हाउस मींस टू गिव शेल्टर, टू शेल्टर, घर में शरण दी थी, इन अ डर्टी हाउस। किस तरह से उसने अपने घर में मुझे अपने घर में रखा, हाउ डिड शी गिव मी शेल्टर इन हर डर्टी होम। He had once tried to be grateful to her because she had in his last year nursed him. Nurse means fostered, or we can say looked after, देखभाल करना, through influenza. और सदाओ जब इन्फ्लुएंजा से सफ़र कर रहा था तो उस लेडी ने लास्ट ईयर सदाओ की देखभाल भी की थी, बट इट वॉज डिफिकल्ट फॉर शी वॉज नॉट लेस रिपल्सिव। व्हाट इज रिपल्सिव, हेटफुल। शी वॉज नॉट लेस हेटफुल, वो कम नफरत वाली नहीं थी, टू हिम इन हर काइंडनेस। Now he remembered the youthful, haggard face. What is haggard? Or we can say haggard, lean and thin. LEAN, lean and thin, दुबला पतला चेहरा उसे याद आया। और लास्ट में सदाओ को किसका फेस याद आया, उस प्रिजनर का चेहरा याद आया, उस टॉम का चेहरा याद आया, जिसका चेहरा बिल्कुल वाइट था, लीन एंड थिन था। वाइट एंड रिपल्सिव मीन्स नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग, और वी कैन से हेटफुल, नफरत के लायक। Strange, he thought, I wonder why I could not kill him. And Sadao is still wondered, he is still surprised, being Japanese, why could I not kill him? Japanese होने के बावजूद भी मैं उसे मार क्यों नहीं पाया? Because he was a great doctor. He was not trained to kill anyone. He was trained to save the life of a patient without knowing his or her caste, nation and religion also. It means he was above from these kind of narrow mentalities. इस तरह की narrow mentality से काफी वो ऊपर था, and he was open hearted person and he was open minded person also. Thank you students. Tomorrow we will discuss the next chapter which is still remaining. Thank you.